Today we're checking out a game called Longvinter, and while this looks a lot like Animal Crossing, it's not whatsoever. Instead of focusing on villager relationships and decorating your town, Longvinter focuses much more on the survival aspect of living in this world. Alright, so we've landed out here at the first compost. A handful of things we're going to go ahead and do first. Going to try to grab as much wheat as we can so that we can sell it off right over here at the James Market. Looks like somebody started building a house over here and then just kind of didn't finish it. I heard someone, oh, this guy's got like a windmill. Now you want to run around and try to grab as much as you can, but don't walk towards the turrets. They don't like that very much. Really, you just want to fill your pockets up with as much as you can to go back and sell it at the outpost. This guy will literally buy anything, and if you're getting something other than wheat, you can make a good little stack of change. All right, now we're going to try to embark on a little journey over to this outpost that's over here on the left. We could have tried to take the ship, but I'm not going to lie. It's like $200 to try to get over there, and I think I might drown. Well, guys, hey, I got to be honest. It's been fun. It's been a nice adventure. I'm sorry I've disappointed you. I was that close? What? It's gonna take as much energy as possible for us to get to the other side. I'm not paying for this boat. If captain is not the captain, I'm not paying money for it. I'm just not doing it. I'll be honest, I'm getting a little, oh, there's land. Oh, we've struck land. Oh, just barely. Just barely. I have one little unit left. I gotta get some help. Something must be wrong. This isn't exactly how I remember this outpost looking. Oh, your Cambodium has been updated. Yeah, this is where you can see all of the fish, the different feathers, and the plants that you can collect. In order to access certain shops later in the game, you have to have parts of your compendium. I don't know what it's called. You have to have different aspects of this list completely filled out, so you can't buy stuff from the plants vendor unless you've got all of the plants. And I gotta be really, really careful because there's 7 people in the server that I'm playing in right now, so I could run into anybody at any point, and there's no telling what they have. I don't know why somebody would put a turret over here if there's nothing for it to protect. It's just protecting this big old empty field. Now, the thing about these docks, you can see that these little areas here where the shops and stuff are, they have little turrets next to them. That's because they are what's considered a green zone, meaning that you can't conduct any form of violence or attack anybody here, or this turret's gonna fuck your whole day up. Now, I've actually never seen this purple vending machine here, so I want to take a look. Julio's Mysterio shop. We can buy some fish, some juniper wood. We can buy the satellite communicator, but I'm a little too poor for that right now. Crafting book, lamp posts, all the fencing and stuff. So you can actually do a good amount of customization to your house once you get it built up. Because once you've got a fishing rod equipped, you're doing pretty solid. You can come over here and you can go fishing, and the fish are going to sell for a significant amount more than most of the other plants and stuff that you can find. Now, you got to keep in mind, you're not going to catch something every single time you fish. It's a pretty intuitive system, but there's not a guarantee that you're going to catch anything if you do it on time. This is definitely the early game strat. Grab yourself a fishing rod, come over here, catch a bunch of fish while protected by this little turret, and you're going to do well. You can build yourself up enough money to get you a basic little house started. Now that we have a few fish, if we go back over here to Mr. James General, you can see that these fish sell for an awful lot more than what the wheat and what the other plants sell for. So you can get a good chunk of money this way. And unlike an actual Animal Crossing, your fishing rod I don't think ever breaks. So you can just continue to farm this until you build up enough money for a house. All right, now let's check out what we can get so far. $138. I'm going to save one of these guys. I think I'm going to save 2 of the perches instead because I need to eat. Oh, wait, I forget you can't. You have to be able to cook them. Ah, here we go. Here's the campfire. I was about to say. There we go. So we'll click on this. We can go for the cooking recipe. We can start cooking our fish. Now, you can tell at first glance if a fish is actually cooked and ready to eat because it'll have this little doodad next to it that indicates it'll give you energy. And so, like I was saying, this is a wonderful little area for us to get started, keep ourselves alive, and make a little money along the way. One thing I've noticed about Longvinter that's a bit of an issue here is that you cannot play this game offline whatsoever. It is only an online game. And what happens with that is that these servers inevitably have to wipe your stuff off. So you can put hours and hours of time into building out your house, building resources, and just kind of making a little home for yourself just to have it wiped randomly without any announcement. So I've considered making my own Longvinter server. If you guys have any interest in this game and maybe would like for me to make a server that will at very least get announced when restarts would happen, let me know in the comments. I think it'd be a really interesting idea. This game's a lot of fun. Now that we actually have a little bit of money, I think we're going to pay the toll and we're going to make our way over to Sergeant Lake's outpost. Sergeant Lake's outpost is the most popular outpost in the map, and it's where we're the most likely to find any other players in the game. So it looks like we've arrived and it looks very similar. Oh, look at that. So we can go ahead and hit C and we can wave to our little buddy here. We're gonna try to make friends. We got to try to make friends. I don't know English. So that was our first experience with another player. This is the compost that I've spent the most time at. And one thing that people have made notice of is if you build too closely to a place like this, so this is about where my last house was in my previous time, people will do whatever they can to shut this stuff down. Now, it looks to me like a lot of these turrets here are just disabled. All right, so I've spent the past couple of hours, maybe not quite a couple of hours. I spent maybe the last 30 or 45 minutes just fishing, and we built up a little bit of money, not quite to the 1,300 that we need in order to get our tent. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go take a look at some outposts. Gotta be really careful by passing these turrets here. You don't want to get shot by them. So there's little areas that you can go to that they're these little compounds, and usually you can find some pretty good loot at these compounds. Now, because I have played this before, I do know where some of these compounds are. I know that there's 2 of them that are going to be over in this direction, one that's going to be up north, and one that'll be even further up north, going into the snowy areas in those biomes. So we make contact over here. We can see there's a handful of chests. I don't think anything has been super looted yet. We got some lampposts and some paintings. In the early game, I think it's always good to just kind of come in here and grab everything that you can, because at the end of the day, they'll buy anything that you'll give them at that store. So a lot of times you may not find anything. A workbench is pretty useful. You want to hold on to something like that. Some black pepper, a wooden stock that'll come into play later, and a mysterious bag. Ooh, I wonder what that is. Now you got to be careful, because there are other people who come visit these composts, and if you're not careful and they're a little more out-armed than you are, you're gonna get got. No good. Now we're going to start making our way north, because over here in the northeast, there's going to be another compound that we can get some supplies from. As you can see, a lot of folks have built out their little houses here. They're fenced in. Not very many people have turrets anymore, because they used to be a lot less expensive than they are now. You can see this guy is got something going on. I'm not super sure what he's doing. Now, while you can find just normal weapons out and about in the world, what you're going to find most often are these different parts. So like you have your barrel, you have your stock, there's a gun kit, and then there's some other part. I think it's the actual like mechanism that you need in order to craft a weapon to defend yourself. Now this Anders painting I think might be a little bit rare, so once we finish up and we can pop a squat here and we'll fill up a little bit faster, I think we can head back over to the outpost and we can sell the stuff off and hopefully get ourselves a tent of our own. Ooh, wait, oh, there's more stuff. Oh, actually not. Everything actually just respawned in here. So every now and again these things will actually fill back up, and ooh, this sign. I'm gonna get rid of this fence and replace it with the sign here. And again, you always want to look around. Another painting and a shotgun kit. Okay, so we're going to trade the black pepper for the shotgun kit, and then we're going to trade this cooked catfish for this other Anders painting. Oh look, there's a guy here. It's always good to wave to folks. If you can make a little just kind of friendships here, like, hey guy, if you can make alliances, it's going to save you in the long run. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how much this stuff is going to come out to. So we can already see that we're making more money by some of this stuff. All right, so with all that stuff that we sold, we now have $1,500 and we can get ourselves a tent. Now we need to find a safe place to put down our tent. I don't want to stay super close to the main area, because obviously it's very populated over here. If I can get closer to the north where I can get access to this one little snowy biome, I think that's the optimal place to go. All right, here we are back in the compound. See if there's anything good. Ooh, a shotgun. This is a huge win. Now, the shotgun is going to be helpful for a handful of things. First of all, it's going to allow for us to defend ourselves very easily against anybody who may be trying to come and sauce on us. But more importantly, it's going to allow for us to actually go and hunt some of these chickens so that we can get a little bit more high protein food. All right, now I don't want anyone to know that I have the shotgun, because I don't have any ammunition for it. So we're going to go ahead and just unequip it, and we're going to put our fishing rod back in that slot. Yeah, I guess I'm a little poor. I can't necessarily afford very much stuff. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is gather just a little bit of wood, and then from there I'll go ahead and I'll head back to my house and we'll call it from there. Oh, I'm dead. I have to hurry and get back to my stuff before somebody finds it. Shoot. So that's something I was about to mention, but didn't get a chance to. Instead, I got to show you. So basically what can happen is if you're trying to use something like a chainsaw can be used as a weapon. In those turrets, in order to keep the green zones green, that they basically look for anybody who is using a weapon against somebody. Now, most of the time, the turrets do a pretty good job. You know, they see somebody pointing a gun at you and they, immediately respond with the fury of 1,000 gods. But in some cases, when you're trying to do something as simple as cutting down a tree just a little too close, the turrets will also come after you. So you have to be really careful. Unfortunately, what was just shot out of my backpack was literally all of my valuable items. You can see here, there's a handful of stuff right here. Geez, a wood stool sells for 300? They've really bolstered a lot of these prices up since I last played, man. It's insane. So we'll sell those things off, make a cool $2,000. Hop over here and grab this chest. Another wooden stool we can sell for a good chunk of change. So if we go back down south and we hit that last compost that we hit the very first time, we should have enough to go buy a container, and then we can finish out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of sneak my way on over here, equip my shotgun, and I'm gonna put some ammunition in it. So now we're ready to go if somebody tries to mess with us. Now, once again, just like with the chainsaw, you do have to be careful about when and where you pull this thing out, because if a turret sees you pull it out, it'll just kind of seek out a little bit further than normal, and you're gonna get got. Oh, look at this fence. It's got like different colors and stuff in it. That's cute. This guy's doing the early game strat that we were just doing, efficient, man. And as you can see, in pretty much no time at all, we've made a good chunk of money in our first day. The developers have made it so much easier to actually get started on things. So we can go ahead and we can get a container, and then we can also, I think, just go ahead and start putting together our little book catalog. And even with all this stuff, we're sitting at a cool $3,000. It's going to be perfect for whenever we get back on and play again. All right, so let's go in the house and kind of put our stuff together. We need a furnace, obviously, so we can go ahead and just chuck this guy right in the corner. This will allow for us to cook food in here. We'll go ahead and put our single chest right down here. And we can start putting a lot of our valuables in it. So we can go ahead and put our one of our shotguns in here, our 2 cooking books, our chainsaw, our fishing pole, and just things that we generally don't want to carry on us right away. Now, the cooking recipes do get to be pretty complicated. You can go and like find things like the sugar beets, and you can make sugar bags, and it gets much, much more in depth, but we'll get into that when we come back and play again. That's where I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching. If you guys enjoyed this little series, this little Longvinter playthrough, let me know in the comments. I'd definitely be down to check it out again. I only have about 24 hours to turn my tent into a house before it gets deleted forever. So if you do like this series and want to see more, let me know fast, please. The time is ticking, quite literally. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye now.